World War I, a conflict of unprecedented brutality. Millions were caught in a maelstrom of industrialized warfare. Amidst the trenches and the terror, a different kind of courage emerged. Nurses and doctors on the front lines of despair offered hope in the face of unimaginable suffering. They were beacons of compassion in a world gone mad. These were the unsung heroes of World War I. This is their story. It is a story of resilience, sacrifice, and the enduring power of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable darkness. We will delve into the lives of these brave individuals, exploring their experiences through their own words. Join us as we uncover the often overlooked history of frontline medicine during the Great War. The dawn of the 20th century brought about a new era of warfare, one that would change the world forever. Gone were the days of organized battles fought from a distance, with clear lines and predictable strategies. World War I introduced the world to trench warfare, a brutal and stagnant form of combat that left soldiers in a constant state of peril. This new kind of war presented unprecedented challenges for medical personnel, who had to adapt quickly to the harsh realities of the battlefield. They faced a constant influx of casualties, many suffering from horrific injuries never seen before, such as shrapnel wounds and gas attacks. Medical knowledge was still in its infancy, and doctors were often unprepared for the scale and severity of the injuries they encountered. Antibiotics were non-existent, and many procedures we take for granted today, like blood transfusions and advanced surgical techniques, were unheard of. Sanitation was poor, and infections spread like wildfire. Resources were stretched thin, and medical personnel had to make do with what little they had. Medical supplies, from bandages to pain relievers, were often in critically short supply, making it difficult to provide adequate care. The sheer scale of the conflict overwhelmed the existing medical infrastructure, leading to overcrowded and under-resourced field hospitals. Hospitals, often hastily erected near the front lines, were ill-equipped to handle the sheer volume of casualties, and medical personnel worked tirelessly under extreme conditions to save lives. The horrors of the Western Front were amplified tenfold for the wounded. Nurses and doctors worked tirelessly, often under heavy fire. They endured sleep deprivation and witnessed unimaginable suffering. Their personal accounts offer a chilling glimpse into the realities of wartime medicine. One nurse, Vera Brittain, wrote of the relentless bombardment and the constant fear that gripped the field hospitals. Doctors like John McCrae struggled to save lives with limited resources. McCrae, who penned the iconic poem In Flanders Fields, witnessed firsthand the devastating impact of mustard gas and artillery fire. His words, forever etched in literary history, serve as a poignant reminder of the horrors endured by both soldiers and those who tended to their wounds. These personal stories, filled with both despair and determination, illuminate the extraordinary courage displayed by ordinary individuals. Imagine yourself transported to a World War I field hospital. The air is thick with the stench of antiseptic and gangrene. Groans of pain echo through the dimly lit tents. Exhausted nurses move among the wounded, their faces etched with compassion and fatigue. The sheer number of casualties is overwhelming. Soldiers arrive with horrific injuries, shattered limbs, gaping wounds, and burns covering their bodies. Trench foot, a gruesome condition caused by prolonged exposure to damp and unsanitary conditions, is rampant. The constant shelling takes a toll on the mental state of patients and medical staff alike. Shell shock, what we now call PTSD, is a constant threat, leaving many men emotionally scarred and withdrawn. In this environment of unimaginable suffering, hope becomes a precious commodity. Section 5. Makeshift miracles. Innovation born of necessity. World War I may have been a brutal conflict, but it also became a crucible for medical innovation. The war's harsh realities forced medical professionals to think on their feet and come up with solutions that would have lasting impacts. Faced with unprecedented challenges, doctors and nurses were forced to improvise and adapt. They had to make do with limited resources, and often had to create new tools and techniques on the spot. The sheer volume of casualties necessitated new approaches to triage, prioritizing patients based on the severity of their injuries. This system ensured that those who needed immediate attention received it, while others were stabilized for later treatment. Blood transfusions, still a relatively new procedure, became increasingly common. The ability to replace lost blood saved countless lives and became a standard practice in medical care. Mobile X-ray units, a groundbreaking invention, allowed doctors to locate shrapnel and bullets embedded deep within the body. This technology was crucial for performing accurate surgeries and reducing the risk of infections. The development of new surgical techniques, often performed in less than ideal conditions, helped save countless lives. Surgeons had to be innovative, using whatever materials were available to perform life-saving operations. Plastic surgery, still in its infancy, emerged as a critical specialty for treating disfiguring facial wounds. These early procedures laid the groundwork for modern reconstructive surgery. The use of antiseptics, pioneered by Joseph Lister in the previous century, gained wider acceptance. This practice significantly reduced the risk of infections and improved survival rates. These innovations, born out of necessity, laid the foundation for modern trauma care. The lessons learned and the techniques developed during this time continue to influence medical practices today, proving that even in the darkest times, human ingenuity can shine through. Section 6. The weight of witness, invisible scars of war. While physical injuries were readily apparent, the psychological toll of war left invisible scars on medical personnel. These scars were often overlooked, yet they were just as debilitating as any physical wound. The constant exposure to death and suffering took a heavy toll. Day after day, they faced the grim realities of war, witnessing the pain and loss that came with each battle. Many nurses and doctors struggled to cope with the emotional burden of their experiences. The weight of their responsibilities was immense, and the emotional strain was often overwhelming. They witnessed firsthand the horrors of war, the loss of innocence, and the fragility of human life. Each day brought new challenges and new heartbreaks. Nightmares, flashbacks, and survivor's guilt were common. These psychological wounds were often invisible, but they were deeply felt and long-lasting. The term shell shock, coined during World War I, encompassed a range of psychological traumas. It was a new and frightening phenomenon that many struggled to understand. Yet, despite the emotional toll, these brave individuals continued to serve. Their dedication and resilience were remarkable, even in the face of such overwhelming adversity. They understood the importance of their work, of providing comfort and care in the midst of chaos. Their compassion and commitment were a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. Their stories remind us that the wounds of war run deep, affecting not only those who fight, but also those who tend to their wounds. The legacy of their courage and compassion continues to inspire us today. Section 7. Unsung Heroes, recognizing the contributions of medical staff. The contributions of nurses and doctors during World War I often go unrecognized. They were not celebrated as heroes upon their return home. Many struggled to readjust to civilian life, haunted by their experiences. Yet their sacrifices were instrumental in saving countless lives and advancing medical knowledge. Their dedication and compassion in the face of unimaginable suffering serve as a testament to the human spirit's resilience. It is essential to remember their service and acknowledge their vital role in the war effort. They were not merely caregivers, they were beacons of hope in a world consumed by darkness. Their stories deserve to be told and retold, ensuring that their sacrifices are never forgotten. Section 8. A Legacy of Compassion, the enduring impact on nursing. The experiences of nurses during World War I had a profound impact on the nursing profession. Their service challenged traditional gender roles and paved the way for greater recognition and autonomy. The war demonstrated the crucial role of nurses in providing frontline care. Their skills and expertise were no longer questioned. They had proven themselves capable and indispensable in the most demanding of circumstances. The war also led to advancements in nursing education and training. The need for skilled nurses became evident, leading to the establishment of new nursing schools and programs. The legacy of these World War I nurses lives on in the countless individuals they inspired to pursue careers in healthcare. Section 9. Beyond the Battlefield, Shaping Modern Trauma Care. The lessons learned during World War I had a lasting impact on the field of medicine. The innovations and techniques developed during the conflict laid the foundation for modern trauma care. Triage systems, blood transfusions, and advances in surgery, all born out of necessity, became standard practice. The war also highlighted the importance of sanitation and infection control. The rampant spread of diseases like trench foot and typhus underscored the need for improved hygiene and preventative measures. The experiences of World War I medical personnel helped shape the future of healthcare, leading to safer and more effective treatments for generations to come. Section 10. Honoring their service. Remembering World War I medical personnel. As time marches on, it is our duty to ensure that the sacrifices of World War I medical personnel are never forgotten. Memorials and museums dedicated to their service stand as solemn reminders of their courage and compassion. We must continue to share their stories, ensuring that their legacy lives on. Educational programs and documentaries play a crucial role in educating younger generations about the realities of war and the vital contributions of those who served on the front lines of medicine. By keeping their memory alive, we honor their service and reaffirm our commitment to peace and understanding.